Hello, this is Chris Nickel with Diagross, and I'm here to train you on our valet software called Vark. And you are the valet staff, and so what you want to do is go into your App Store, depending on if it's Android or Apple, and download the Vark driver app. It should be identified as a black icon with white logo, as you see here on the screen. And when you open that up, make sure you hit join if this is your first time, and create an account using your phone number. And if this is not your first time, you've already created an account, then hit login. And once you're logged in, make sure you select the desired property that you'll be working at. The very first thing you want to do when logged into Vark Driver is ensure that your notifications are turned on. So just go to the side menu and turn on notifications. There are a few options within the Vark Driver app that will help you facilitate your valet duties, and I'm going to walk you through those here. And if you have any questions, please ask your management and we can figure out the best way to answer those questions. But first things first is when you greet a guest, the very first button you're going to press is greet. That is identified by the license plate icon, and once you've done that, you'll either enter in the license plate manually, or you can use our camera, which uses license plate recognition to identify and read the license plate. So I'm going to type in some information here for that license plate, and then it shows that a profile is already created for the license plate Chris11. So I can either stage it or park it. At this point, I'm going to park it. Staging just allows you to put it into the queue up in the front and wait for the guest to come back. So it's kind of like a temporary parking scenario. We're going to hit park, and it's going to ask you to then enter in a few more details about the parking spot of the location. So you'll notice at the top it does already identify the license plate, the vehicle details, and down below you'll see parking info. And here's where you will enter in parking lot descriptions based on the parking map that management has set up. So in this particular demo account, there's two lots, lot A and B, and there's rows. So you'll need to talk with your management to determine your parking structure format. If we go below, once we've identified its spot, we hit key, and this is where we can enter in what hook it's in. So we have a keyboard at this particular demo account, and I'm going to say that the key is on hook 17. And from there we can take pictures using vehicle condition images. Just tap on that camera icon and that will open up the camera for the phone, and we'll take photos of the vehicle. Any pre-existing damage or just wanting a baseline. It will not store the photos on your physical device. It will be stored in the cloud on our Vark services database. So once I'm done there, I'm going to hit park. And now I'm done. That's how you greet a guest. Now a guest will either download the Vark app and have a profile set up, and when they're ready to request their vehicle in their app, they can hit the button that says request, and it will send a notification to you. Now if a guest forgot to download the app, which is okay, or their phone died, whatever the case may be, they end up at the valet booth and they need their vehicle. So just like a paper ticket system, they ask a valet, hi, I need my vehicle, this is my vehicle information. So you're going to do the same thing, except instead of having to search on paper tickets, you're just going to enter it in the app. So down at the bottom below the license plate button for greet, there's the request button. So I'm going to hit that request button on the bottom left, and there's a search tool where I can then type in license plate details or a name. I'm going to do license plate, hit search, and there's those details. So a guest does not have to download the app, but there's some great benefits to having the Vark app. such as seeing the average wait times and being able to request their vehicle ahead of time, and even paying and tipping through their customer app, just like they would with, say, an Uber or Lyft app. So I select that, and then it's going to confirm request that vehicle on behalf of the guest. And what you'll see here, if we go back to the home screen, since I requested it manually through the Vark driver app, I'm not going to receive a notification in the notification bar up above, but I will still see the red ticker on the home screen and a red ticker inside the app on the retrieve section. So that's the next button that we're going to review. If a request was made from the customer app, then you would have received a notification just like you would receiving a text message. It would come from the top in your banner if you have that set up, or on the home screen, or within the app. So when I hit the retrieve button, it's going to show me the details. Okay, Chris Nickel just requested his vehicle. He has a white Infiniti QX56 with a license plate Chris 11. Perfect. I know what I'm looking for. The key, identified by the key icon there on the left, is on hook 17, and he requested it, and it should be, I should arrive by 3:13. So that's what we're telling your customers. Okay, he's going to probably be here in 10 minutes. Please be ready. And for your information, you know, as the valet driver, that we see the vehicle is parked in Lot A, parking spot C4. So I hit OK, and now I've accepted that task. I go and I get the key, I go and get the vehicle, I come back. When I come back to drop off the vehicle in the front, I hit the retrieving button. You see it's kind of blinking there, it's flashing. And it takes me to my next detail. Okay, perfect. Confirmed. Pickup time 3:13. I'm going to complete it. It's going to send a notification to the customer. That's what that notification tab is that just popped up. And now my next task is, if the guest is at the front ready for his vehicle, I hit customer is present. There's a ticker button there, and then I complete the handoff. If the customer is not present and you want to leave the vehicle up in the front bay area until they get there, because they're probably on their way, you hit customer not available. So what that's going to do is it's going to put a notification in every valet's mobile app in the return section that a vehicle is being waited for a customer to show up. So Chris comes up to the booth finally, and somebody else has waiting up at the front booth area and says, hey, I'm ready for my vehicle. They can now return that vehicle to the guest instead of having to manually request, because that's different from requesting a vehicle to a vehicle that's already been requested. We hit the request button, it loads up. There he is. There's a picture of him with his profile, and now the customer is present, and I complete that handoff. Okay, so the next step that I want to do is show you what it looks like for a very new customer that doesn't have a profile set up in Vark. So I'm going to hit the greet button. I'll enter in a license plate. I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Well, surely there's no license plate set up for that. No, nobody showed up, so it goes right into the details that you would put on a paper ticket into the app. So first things first, I get the name. I do a last name and a phone number. So I'm just going to put in a fake phone number. This is a fake count. And what's going to happen here, after we put in the vehicle information, so we're going to type in those, what color it is we're going to hit park. So when we do that, or stage, depending on what you're doing, but I'm going to hit park, it is going to send a text message to Audrey DeTesco at phone number 999-999-999 to Audrey's phone, telling them to download the Vark customer app. Now they don't have to download it right away. They could wait till they are seated at their table in the restaurant, or when they get to their hotel room. but that's what you're going to do when you've put in new customer information. So now they're off, and this is the same screen you saw previously when it was a profile that was already created. The license plate, the vehicle details have already showed up, and now we are just adding in the parking details when we have gotten to the parking spot for the vehicle. So this time I'm parking in lot B, row D, space 6. I put in the key location. If you want to take vehicle condition images, you're more than willing to do that. Well, I'm going to hit park, and now I'm done. Okay, unfortunately, there was an incident, and I had to move the vehicle, repark it in a different spot. So this is what you would do for reparking a vehicle. Maybe you had to get to another vehicle because you're double parked. Whatever that case may be, we're going to go to the side menu, and at the very top, that first option is Find Vehicle. So we select that and another searching area. So I'm going to type in that license plate. I believe it was ABCDEFG. And there is Audrey DeTesco in the Lexus LS plates from Arkansas. Perfect. So what I can do is I can either move that vehicle into a different spot, maybe add different notes, or I can create a damage report. So maybe there was a little bit of a fender bender, or you kind of hit a pole, whatever the case may be is, if you need to create a damage report, you hit the damage report button, and you add some comments, you type in what happened, you add some pictures, and then you have created a damage report. And on the back end, your management will be able to see this all time and date stamped with all the comments, and they have the ability to add additional comments as well. So if I move that vehicle, I'm going to move it back in lot A, row B, space 4, and the key hook is now changed as well to key hook 6. So hit the update, and now that information's all updated. That is basically it for Vark. It's a quick demo. Watch it a few times, play around with it, and if you have any questions, please let management know, and we will figure out the best way to answer your questions. Thank you. Goodbye.